As a certified divorce specialist and a divorce real estate specialist, I've had many divorcing clients meet with me to sell their matrimonial home. And during our initial consultations, there's always two questions that I'm asked. What is different about selling a home in divorce from a regular real estate sale? And would I reduce my fees if I find a buyer myself who has no realtor of their own and I can double end the transaction, meaning represent the sellers and the buyer? My response to the first question is quite detailed, and in addition, I often refer them to the video on this channel that's called Why You Need a Divorce Real Estate Specialist, which explains a very detailed answer to question number one. And of course I do explain it to them. I'm going to put a link in the comments below to that video for you. But then in response to the second question, I explain how there can be serious liability and serious conflict of interest if the realtor you hire to sell your matrimonial home in divorce actually double ends the sale. Here's why. In amicable situations where a property is well kept, nicely staged, and priced according to fair market value, as a certified negotiator, I guarantee you that I could get you top dollar for the sale, likely even set a new ceiling price for your area. On the other hand, in hostile or acrimonious divorce situations, where a property is not well kept, not staged, and a seller has unrealistic expectations of fair market value, or has intentionally overpriced the property to stall the sale, often that property will sell for much less than their unrealistic expectations. In other words, it will sell for fair market value, but not inflated. And although I still often get clients more than fair market value, here's the potential risk. If one spouse thinks a property is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars more than the fair market value really is, and I, as their realtor, also find a buyer who wants to offer fair market value, and I prepare the offer for that buyer, and finally, the realistic selling spouse wants to accept that offer, then the unrealistic spouse could potentially accuse me of telling the buyers that the sellers are getting divorced, or that I told them to lowball an offer because one spouse is likely to accept it. Now, of course, I would never do that. But an unrealistic spouse, or one with ulterior motives, or one with possibly narcissistic personality disorder, could potentially suggest that I violated my fiduciary duties to my sellers, which of course means a lot of repercussions and could jeopardize the sale. Some say it's a conflict of interest to double end any real estate transaction for a realtor. And I do believe that some, but not all agents, can objectively look out for the best interests of their sellers throughout the process of double ending. So it's not always a conflict of interest. But that's assuming the sellers are acting as one united client, meaning two people, but one united team, if you will, and the potential buyer is the other side of the transaction. But in an acrimonious divorce, or where one spouse might have unrealistic expectations or ulterior motives, one of the many unique skills that a divorce real estate specialist must have is to be able to work with equal fairness with both sellers who really aren't united. So to juggle a third party, meaning a buyer, poses many additional challenges. So the sellers and a seller's agent should not try to double end a sale when it's a divorce sale, just to save a few dollars, because the sellers might lose more money than they saved by leaving extra money on the table, or even jeopardizing completion of the sale. If you have any questions about choosing the right realtor to sell your home in divorce, or any other divorce questions, please email me, mike@thedivorceguy.ca, and I'd be happy to help you in my area of expertise, or put you in touch with colleagues who I know are the best at what they do. Be sure to check out my friends over at divorcespecialistgroup.com. You're never obligated to work with anybody, but they really do have the best vetting process and hire the best professionals. They also have a free download, a free divorce checklist that I encourage you to get. It's really good. And don't forget to click on thumbs up so that this video can gain popularity and help others with the same question.